Yo, this is Chris Blair, and I just finished watching some very exciting football. I got up early Monday morning. I wanted to check out the playoff games, and yeah, it was really some good stuff. And it got me inspired me to make this video to talk about some key profit things that you can do to make your store profitable. Some things I think people are doing wrong or not really thinking about. Again, there's way too much emphasis on ads in this game, when ads are important, but how you do it and all the other things around ads are actually more important than the ads themselves. Okay, so I'm going to talk about three things here today. Okay, one is tracking the patterns on your store. Okay, this has been one of the most important things that I have done in my store, is tracking patterns. Okay, which helps me not scale recklessly. Okay, because sometimes people scale and they scale recklessly. I mean, seriously, it's just they want to scale on the scale, but they're not paying attention to any patterns on their store, so they scale wrong, or they scale at the wrong timing. Okay, another thing I want to talk about is the number of products you should be pushing. Okay, whether you should be pushing a lot of products or a few number of products, and how that affects your business. Okay, and the other thing that I want to talk about is some key things to keep in mind when you're launching totally new products. You should be bringing new products, especially if you have an established fan page, established marketplace, a brand, like I do. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a big brand, but a small brand, right? People know your business, right? Also in this hyper-competitive marketplace on Facebook, right? Bringing out new products are really important. So I'm going to talk about these three things, okay? While we let people get on here, I'm just going to take just a few moments and if anyone wants to pop a question into the chat box there, I'll take a look at it. I want to give a little bit of time to people gather before I dig into these top three topics. Any questions? Hey, I see Dave's on, Phil's on, Stefan's on. Cool, good to see you guys. Did you guys check out the football games? Those were two amazing games. I mean, I'm surprised the Chiefs lost, but it was a real tough battle. So no questions coming in. I'm going to give this maybe 10 more seconds. If questions pop up, I'll start digging into it. If I can remember the 3 points I want to make. Yes. New products, right? You should be paying attention to launching new products, right? Scaling smart, paying attention to the patterns on your store, don't scale recklessly. And then the third one I was going to talk about was, damn, I forgot it. Hopefully they'll come back to me. Okay, so let's talk about patterns on your store and scaling. Okay, now I'm not going to help my competition here by telling them the exact days, but I have been running this beer store now for almost a year. Okay, our first sales in the store was February 13th, so it's not quite a year. It's just under a year. Okay, and I've gone back and I've tracked the patterns on my store, and I've noticed that there are 2 days of the week back to back, right next to each other, right? So for example, let's just throw them out. So for example, I'm not going to say what they are because I don't want to help my competition, right? And every niche is different too. So just because there's slow days in my niche doesn't mean there'll be slow days in your niche. You may not even have any slow days, okay? But I noticed, for example, let's just say Wednesday, Thursday, or a Saturday, Sunday, or a Tuesday, Wednesday. Some sort of 2-day combination has consistently been slow on my store. Consistently. I mean, every single fucking week, even leading up to Christmas, right? Those 2 days back to back have always been slow. Well, now I have skyrocketed my profit by playing that to my advantage, okay? I know for a fact, I've also noticed that there's 3 days in a row that are my best days. And then 2 days are average. So I've got 2 days back to back that are slow. I've got 3 days that are consistently selling well, and I've got 2 days that are average. So I literally now have got myself set up in a situation where what I do is I start scaling up aggressively on the 2 average days, knowing that I'm going to have to kill some ads that are not working when I go, because when you scale up, some ads will work, some will not, right? So I start scaling those 2 days, and I really build up to the profit days, and I've got them optimized well for the profit days. Once the profit days are over, I don't do any real scaling to the profit days. I want Facebook to things. I'm scaling before they come, right? And then I let them run for those 3 days. And what happens is they're optimized. By the time they hit my optimal profit days, those ads, because I've been scaling over 2 days in a row to get them to that point, they're starting to really optimize, and they kick butt for 3 days in a row. But then what happens is I know I'm going to my 2 slow days, and I don't do any adding of ads at all. In fact, what I do is I consolidate. My ad budget starts going down like this on those 2 days, because I know for a fact those 2 days are bad. But guess what? My profitability has never been higher, because I'm scaling down and consolidating on the 2 days that I know in a row that are not working on my store. And I'm scaling up in preparation for the days that are working. It's this pattern. I've been working that pattern, working that pattern, working that pattern. And my profit in December and January has never been higher, because I'm working the patterns on my store. So guys, I'm not going to tell you what days are, because I don't want to help my competition. Number 2 is if I tell them to you, everyone's going, oh yeah, those are my days. That's not every niche is different. Every niche is different, okay? So scaling is important, right? But scaling when you know your patterns. For example, let's just say that you know that Tuesday and Wednesdays are bad for you on your store. If you scale up your ads on Monday, right, but your buyers are typically not buying on Tuesday and Wednesday, you're just shooting yourself in the foot, because you're literally throwing money at your downtimes. What you should be doing is consolidating on Monday night or Tuesday morning to eliminate any ads that are borderline until you have your sure winners going during your slow days. That is how you maximize profit. It's brilliant for me. It's absolutely working. I'm really excited I found these patterns. I went back and I tracked it all. It was really, it was so obvious. I mean, there were some rare exceptions, but they were so obvious that there was, days became clear. So pay attention to that. You guys, pay attention to the patterns on your store, because if you have them, you can work them to your advantage, okay? Now, the other thing is number of products you should be working, okay? Over the last several years of doing ecom, both on Teespring, Represent, a general store, now a niche store, I've come to realize one thing. Okay, now at Christmas I talked about limiting to a finite 1, 2, 3 number of hot products, and that strategy still applies on non-Christmas time, except that I go ahead and expand it out to maybe 5, 6 products. But I never push hard on more than 6 products, okay? 6 products is my hard ceiling, okay? Why? Well, what I found that if I'm pushing a lot of products, and I tried this for a long time. I mean, last year during March, April, and May, I was trying it, and I really wanted to make numerous products work. And Phil, my buddy on this call, can contest this. We talked about this a lot, and it just wasn't working. I was making a lot of sales, but my profit was very low. Because what was happening was I was cannibalizing myself by having 15, 20 products or whatever running at the same time, and spreading my, they cannibalize each other. It's really weird. What I discovered, and I went back to what I was doing before, back in the old days, is focusing on a finite number of products and scaling those is what drives your business. It's the 80-20 rule, and that's what you should be using in your business. And the ironic part is every day I get sales for sure some advertising. I got 20 to 30, sometimes even much as 40 products selling in my store, but I'm only right now currently driving traffic to 6 of them. Okay, 6 I'm pushing, and every day I run a new test product. And if I find a test product that works, I switch out the ones that I'm working, right? So I got my maximum ceiling of 6, okay? If I got a new test product that's looking like it's gonna be better than the one I'm pushing right now, I switch them out. I literally will pause the other one and focus on the new one, right? If I find a new winner that's working. So a finite number of products will drive your sale business, right? You're not cannibalizing yourself with the ads. And number 2 is you are actually getting products. Once people are on your store, they're in a buying mode. And they will buy tons of other shit they're not advertising. Okay? So focus on a finite number of products and push them and try to scale them to the moon. That is how you win in this business. And the third thing I want to talk about is testing new products. I think you should be testing new types of products all the time. I mean, not all the time, but pretty consistently. Maybe once a month, come out with a totally new line, something totally you've never done before. Okay? Now, one thing you should pay attention to, and this is something that I think is really, really critical, and this has helped my game a lot, is when I launch a new product, totally, I'm not saying, for example, let's just say we'll go throw t-shirts. I have a general idea I know what my t-shirt prices are, okay? But let's just say I launch, I don't know, buggy whips. It's old product doesn't even exist anymore, but I just want to throw this out an example. I have no idea what the ideal price is for a buggy whip on Facebook or on online advertising, right? Or online e-com store. So I go in it with the idea that I'm going to be flexible, okay? So when I launch a totally new product, right, I'm paying attention not necessarily to my sales, right? Yes, sales are great, but I mean, if I'm making sales, that's awesome. Then we're good. We found the right product. We found it's a good winner. This is roll with the price I got, and everything's fine. But usually that's not the case. Usually what will happen is, even if the product's good, for example, I just launched a product last week. Okay, I'm not gonna say what it is. I launched a new product last week. Now I got 2 of them up, 2 different styles of them, and they're selling well. But on the first 2 days, I ran $25 in ad spend on the first version of that one that I ran for 2 days in a row. I let $50 be spent before I touched anything, right? Because in this case, I actually had a larger test budget than I would for them. Let's just say I launched a T-shirt, right? Brand new T-shirt. I know T-shirt business really well. I'm not going to spend $50 on a T-shirt test, right? I'm going to spend $10, $15, $20, and if that shirt's not working, I'm gonna kill it, right? But the reason why I went in for $50 on total ad spend for 2 days over this new type of product is this was brand new for me, brand new. All right, I wanted to see the data. I was buying data. And what was happening was really interesting for me. This is intriguing. Okay, so I was getting 70-cent link clicks on average, a lot of link clicks, a lot of comments, and a lot of shares on the post, but zero. I mean, we're talking not one add to cart over $50 ad spend, and I was paying 70 cents per link click. So that was a lot of link clicks. I mean, it was like 70, I don't know, right, a good number of link clicks, 80 link clicks, whatever, right? What did that tell me? That told me that my price was too high. So pay attention to your data. Just because a product does not sell, especially if it's a new type of product you don't know, does not mean it's not a bad product or a good product, or doesn't mean it's not a good product, doesn't mean it's a bad product. It could mean that your price is not right, and often that's the case. That data told me, I said, I'm 100% sure that my price is wrong. So I decided to drop it down $5 and see what happens. And the moment I dropped it down, I'm not joking you, it was unbelievable. The moment I dropped it down, within 3 hours, I had 5 add to carts and 3 sales. I let it run at the lower price, and now this thing is profitable. Now I got a second version up at lower price. So by just being flexible on my price point, yes, I'm making a lot less per unit, but I mean, heck, I'm making sales, and this drives your business, right? And if you have a good, I mean, you know what, I'm going to actually bring in a fifth strategy, the fourth topic that I was going to talk about here for a second. And that is, I'm not always looking for big front-end profit. Let me repeat this. I'm not always looking for big front-end profit. The reason why is I'm not in the dropship business. I'm not selling shit from China that people are going to wait 2 to 3, 4 weeks to get, and they're going to be so about the about the quality. I'm selling high-quality printed parts only. I got fast delivery. I got good customer service. I know for a fact that they're going to buy from me again. There's a very, very good chance they're going to come back and buy from me again. So I'm willing to take a little less profit on the front end to get them in the door. Once they're in the door, because my cost of acquiring a customer is the highest thing in my business. Now I got them. I can email them. They like my fan page, etc. And I can get them, to buy again and buy over again. So, guys, this is thinking long-term and more strategic about your business. And I hope these 4, I ended up doing 4 tips to help you with the e-com business were useful to you guys. I don't know if you see my Facebook wall or timeline, whatever you want to call it. They used to call it one, that's called a timeline. I've got tons of coaching students who are having success. I love coaching. I want to help you. So private message me if you're interested in coaching, and see you in the next video. I hope this was useful.